Okay, so how did it feel to perform in front of people after?
It's strange, man. Especially that many people. Because the
How many
first night
people
didn't
were
go
there in the
exactly.
party?
It was 2 nights, Friday and Saturday. I think Friday was probably about a good 600, 700 people,
Okay.
maybe. And it was Yasmin performed on Friday. Yo, by the way, again, we gotta give shout out to this brother, man. Ricardo did a great job with his team, man, promoting these artists. Like the level of stardom, I literally didn't know what to expect. I had no expectations, but when I saw what I saw there, I was like, oh shit, it's yo, girls passing out like it was Michael Jackson literally passing next to them,
Wow.
passing out, trying to shake the car. Yes, man, yes, man. Queues every day in front of the house where we were having lunch. Queues in front of that house.
Wow.
We couldn't have lunch in a public space because it would just become this whole madness. Her and Badosha together, it was just unbearable. There was just too many, and there was not enough security. At
Africa
a certain
love,
point,
man. It's
yo,
a
man, it
different
was
love.
something else. It's a different thing. And so we actually had to call. The guys actually had to call the cops to accompany us and stay around her throughout the whole show. Her and Badasha, by the way. Spencer and I, nobody knows who we are, so they're like, we were just walking like, okay, we're good. And it's and I was actually enjoying this vibe because it's humbling as well. Because we're very known in so many other places around the world.
Yeah.
And yet there, nobody gives a shit of who you are, and you gotta prove yourself like everyone else, and which was actually interesting. So I performed right after her, which actually I told them, I was like, I'm not sure it's the best idea, but you guys know your crowd, because she does play a lot of love songs, kizomba, etc. So I wasn't too sure that was, me coming after was the right programming, which actually didn't work out. So I played for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes or so. And then I called the local DJ to come and play the actual songs those guys like, and he did. And then once he was done playing the things that they liked, they were ready to receive what I was actually playing in the first place. So interesting, but I definitely came up with the conclusion that they're not shy. They're super, super, super hardcore fans when they love the artist. And they do enjoy live acts, definitely. So the DJing thing, a DJ alone behind decks, I think it has to be, it actually gave me the idea.
I think.
Well, I'm talking about Bissau here. Well, maybe not Bissau, but I led that particular show. But in contrast, on Saturday, however, it was much more of an attendance. Like there was probably over 1,000 people.
Okay.
Badosha was a massive entertainer, by the way. Nah, that boy is fucking good, man. Like the way he entertains, he literally has a crowd in his hands. Man, I wish we had videos of some of the things that happened, man. It was something else, man. Girls going so mad. One of the girls actually, we don't even know how she managed to run from the third row, jump, and get caught in the air by the police and the security, and like literally, like in the rugby, like they literally caught her in the air and they fell with her on the floor. She was actually trying to get to Badosha. The wig fell off, everything fell off. Yo, and Badasha was like, continuing to sing, do the thing, etc. And that girl was like, oh my god! And she grabbed the wig. She went straight to the first row, and she was like, and she kept on moving like nothing happened. And you could definitely tell she hurt herself. She didn't give a flying fuck. She was trying to get to her artist. So eventually, some girls would send like bracelets
Oh my
and little
God.
gifts, and like another girl tried to run to him again. Then another one acted like she was fainting, so they carried her to the stage. But then it was just a way for her to try to get closer to him. Then the security
Oh
blocked her. It
my
was just like, oh man,
God.
yo, it was
What up, distant shada?
mad.
That's crazy.
This is Shadow 4. What it do?
You know that
Good to
once
see you
I
here.
was doing a show in Angola, and there was a little kid, like, I don't know, 14 years old, something. And so while I'm performing, he's holding my hand. I mean, he's trying to hold my hand, and yeah, let him hold my hand a little bit. And then I realized that he's actually trying to open my my watch and trying to
Steal your
remove
watch.
it. He's trying to steal my watch. So while I'm performing, I do this. I do pop straight.
No, it was crazy.
And there was one girl also who stole one of my bracelets. I think she was trying to remove one of them, and so I grab her by the wig, and I'm grabbing her here on the side where it hurts, and I'm pulling, and at the same time I'm like, "Mote maranga, elinga kayo," and I'm like, until she lets go. Sometimes you have to multitask.
No, but it was crazy. Honestly, like, there was a point where you're like, if there was no security, somebody could die just because of the level of excitation of the crowd. And there's not been events going on for all this time. So they find that they're easing up, the opening of the country, etc. So this was like a breath of fresh air for people. And this was the first time as well for Yasmin and Badosha to perform. And Yasmin is Ghanaian, Guineas, and so it was the first time in her birth
It was
country.
the first
So
time home.
yeah, so it was
Wow.
massive, gosh, yeah, crazy.
Okay. Oh, that's funny that it was only now that she, because she's been enjoying quite success for a long time. So that's great.
Yo, little girls during the daytime, man, little girls chasing, amazing to see, but very humble as well. Like, they would not even like try to act like they were tired. They would take the pictures with everyone. Like, I'm telling you, there was queues. There was literally girls and guys waiting hours
What up, Franklin?
in front of that house. So what I did on Saturday, I was like, guys, you know what? I don't think they're quite used to the DJing thingy the way, Yeah, I don't know, but I was like, look, I don't mind warming up. I don't mind starting the whole show. I was like, let's get there earlier. I'm going to do the warm up. It's all good, I'm still honoring my contract anyway. I don't have to play peak time. It's not like, people are waiting for Boddhi Satva here. Nobody really gives a fuck who I am, really. Oh, very few. Let me just do the warm up. Then Spencer takes over, and then Badosha comes, and then after that we can do like a back to back or whatever. And I did just that, on Saturday. And actually, the vibe was actually, much better because the crowd was more of a clubbing crowd. So they were there for the live, but they were also there to dance and enjoy. So it was a good vibe, It was a good vibe. Played some of my pianos, some stuff like that. So it was cool. And I enjoyed it because, we don't always get to, especially when you perform like that, you don't get to really perform and play music that you feel, especially easing yourself into playing for a crowd again. It's a bit of a process. Honestly,
That's the thing too.
It was a bit intimidating.
You've been used to playing for virtually, so you are at the Quarantine Groove episode 120 something.
120 something, yeah.
So it must be strange in a way to be back in performing for real people. I mean, you perform for real people, but it's virtual. You perform for a camera the same way I'm having conversation in front of a camera, and I know that I can see people on the chat and stuff. So I know that people are watching. I know that people are watching the replays because I see the numbers, I see the comments, and I know how the show becomes significant to people. But if I had to do like, let's say somebody told me, hey, we would love to do Club Shada, but in front of a real crowd, it would be so different to have like a crowd and people watching and you know, because I just got used to this. I just got used to and you know, when I was at the when I was at the doctor for the anxiety, they were telling me like, but like, do you leave your house? I was like, yeah, I do. But it's true that I got used to just being in my neighborhood. Every day I just do a round of the neighborhood or I walk, and then the rest of the time I'm home. And actually working, I record my music at home. I do my promotion and everything from home. I run my business from WhatsApp and Dropbox. And my main activity, which is Club Shada, twice a week, it's the same thing as doing a show because it's an exchange of energy with people. It's at home as well. Everything is done here. So my life revolves around this space here. And in a way, if I go to a party, for example, I mean, sometimes Sundays there's a lot of people in the waterfront walking with their families, and us as well. We go walk, so it's not that I'm not scared of people, but I wonder how it would feel if I had a show and I had 500 people and I haven't done this for. I mean, I did one in September last year in Kinshasa. So I mean, I know I was born a showman, so I know how to do it. But it feels like if somebody told me, "Hey, you have like 10 shows. You have this Paris, then Dijon, then this, then that, then Lisbon, then London, and then Leeds, and then whatever. You have like 10 clubs and a little tour." It would feel so strange to me. Like,
let me tell you this much, man. When I was walking in the crowd, it was jam-packed. No social distancing out there. I can guarantee you that much. But I was wearing my mask. Well, let's keep the June dancing, right?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, it's a very important action that we all took upon ourselves to support the June, which is a very mythical place.
Yeah.
Threatened to close their doors because of this pandemic and because that the fact that they cannot open the venue. So they're asking everybody to make donations to help them raise at least 50,000 euros. And I think they've managed to make some numbers, but they still need some help. So. That's why you saw the video of Christelle dancing as well. But man,
it's like crazy. Damn it.
Yeah, for reals. But I can tell you that as I was walking in the crowd with my mask on, I was literally telling myself, and honestly,
you were performing with your mask on?
No. I wasn't performing with my mask on. But as I was walking, coming out of the car. And I realized that people didn't like, and I saw elderly folks, young folks in the crowd, like I saw white, blacks, whatever, like everybody. And I'm like, okay, somebody's got to explain to me something here that I don't understand. Either they're all asymptomatic, but there was people that was like, at least in their 50s. There was a bunch of them. And I was like, okay, and here you are, and you honestly, you're not feeling comfortable walking around these folks, but at the same time, you're like, well, fuck, everybody's just, doing what they do.